Scotty, you seemed to wrestle back to momentum that quarter, but you didn't get rewarded for your effort. What was the message to the boys?
Oh, look, we've just got to hang in there. We've just got to peg them back bit by bit. Obviously, it was a bad start, but the game's not over by any means. We thought we evened it up a little bit, and we're confident we can turn it around a little bit more.
The loose man seemed to work. Will you persist with that?
Oh, yeah, we will. We'll certainly start that way. We think the game looked a little bit better for us that way. Certainly wasn't going well early, so something had to change.
Yeah, and it seems like the boys at the end was very static and slow ball movement. Do you think you're going to increase that ball movement in the third quarter?
Yeah, especially in our forward half. We'd like to move the ball a little bit quicker, but we've got to make sure that our forward structure is good as well to support that. So, yeah, we think if we move the ball a bit quicker, get it in deeper inside 50, will be a good chance.
Thanks for your time, mate. Good luck.
Thanks.
Brett Kirk speaking with the Cats coach. And speaking of the Cats, they're back on the ground. Half-time extended actually to 22 minutes because of the journey they've got to take. We've shown you before, and half-time as well, that trip out to the indoor centre here at the SCG. Sydney have been out there for some time. What an important victory it will be for the Swans if they can push on and get home ground advantage.
We see the numbers on the excuse me, the bottom left of the screen. That's about as even as you could get in general numbers, but scoring shots and goals, well, that's where the Swans have got the ascendancy, but in both under numbers, very similar at half-time.
It's just a real efficiency. I was talking to Brett Kirk at half-time and just commenting on the potency of the Sydney forward line, and we've spoken a lot about Ben McGlynn pushing up and then the ball-carrying ability of Lewis Jetta going forward, but they just look genuinely potent going forward with probably more options to kick goals for them at the moment.
It's always interesting when you're 5 goals in front as you head into the third quarter, but the momentum of the game has just changed a little bit. It's always this, do you just keep doing what you've been doing and try and get the momentum back, or do you try and match or find something to alter what has started to work for Geelong in that part of the game? Adam Goods hasn't been able to find the ball at this point in time, whether he can find his way back in, and how do you use him to try and get him into the game?
Well, there was no doubt that he's playing the captain's role there, and that's sign of a great player with great experience. Only the 3 disposals so far, but really rallying the troops. So he'll be better for the run. He'll be better for the first half, and we see be Joel Selwood driving the message on the screen in the huddle like that. The whole idea of the huddle in a circle like that is that everyone can see each other. You can eyeball each other. You can pass on messages directly, and that's what both those 2 captains of Geelong and Sydney were doing respectively.
See Steve Johnson there, Lee. Now, 7 of his last 9 matches, he hasn't kicked a goal. He's played some great footy. We haven't seen him close to the goals again tonight, have we?
No, that's true. When they have had a lot of the ball in the forward 50, Johnson hasn't been there on the end of it. He's sort of been pushing upfield a little bit. But Jimmy Bartell, isn't he a coach's dream?
Yeah.
I mean, you can send him back to play loose man defence. You can send him on ball, run with roll on ball, go forward and kick a goal. Well, you can use him in any shape or form. It's a beauty.
Chris Scott has said that he often lets Jimmy basically dictate where he starts. We see him on the top right-hand corner of the screen there. Dictates where he starts and where he sees the game, and so the Sydney Swans need to be aware of that, and he's dropped himself back already in the hole there. James Podgedley started to get his hands on the ball up forward for the Cats.
Start of the third term on Friday Night Football. Umpire Donlan put it down then. And the Cats with a long way to come back. Good bounce too. Both ruckmen missed it. Fell at their feet. Taken by McVeigh. Drives inside the forward 50. Big leap at the back. Came from Mumford. Couldn't hang on. Taylor slaps it across towards Mackey. Did well going back to Bartell. His kick was smothered. Still a live ball taken by Goods. Kept it going towards full forward. Roberts Thompson is taken down by Bartell. That ball is wedged in there, and the umpire will ball it up.
And clearly, what the Swans have to decide is which defender they want loose. So they try to get Reid onto Bartell, because Lonergan's the one there least worried about in space.
Talking about home ground advantage before, 3 of the top 4 clubs at the moment in the competition, interstate side, so if they can keep on winning.
Non-Melbourne, Dennis.
No.
Non-Victorian. Non-Victorian, I think, is
not
politically correct.
Non-Melbourne.
Is that? I'm sorry.
Non-Victorian, yeah.
After the bounce, Bartell, tackled by O'Keefe.
That ball taking a long time. Jetta, Corey gets the ball back. And then Selwood, who started the quarter out of the centre square at half forward, doesn't get it a long, long way. McGlynn, cute little kick to the pocket. Well played, though, cutting across. Selwood again. Just we talked about Sydney's first quarters. Their first halves have been impressive too in terms of goals against. In the last 3 weeks, 3 goals has been the maximum against them in their last 3 matches to half-time. Good tap, Kennedy, goal. Well, that is, how good's that? That is the best clearance imaginable. That's copybook, isn't it? Absolutely perfection.
Yep.
And he's a good finisher, Dennis. We've talked a lot about Kennedy this year, but 15 goals now for the season. That's a good return for a big midfielder.
Real bonus. Strongly built, powerful, and a very good kick.
He's been very accurate, Kennedy. I mean, quite remarkably, he now has kicked 15 goals too this season.
Just terrific stoppage work here. Brings Joel Corey into the contest, but the great players have an ability to execute the school in one step, and Josh Kennedy's kicked the goal one step straight through the middle.
Josh Kennedy's average 26 possessions a game. Half-time was half of that on 13. His 14th an absolute pearler after the bounce. Some urgency from the Cats. There's going to be a free kick, won by Selwood. Coming up to his 14th possession. Alongside the centre circle, sends it inside the forward 50. Hawkins came at the pack, it collapsed, thumped out of there by Jetta, taken by Stokes, did well, got the arms free. Chapman goes to Joel Corey, in trouble, back looking for Chapman, chopped off there by a couple of Swans. Johnson initially, the man in the road, then got the hand pass out wide to Jetta. Jetta's hit though not so good, and the mark is taken by Lonergan.
Don't see Jetta turn the ball over too often. Now Taylor back to half forward. Hawkins taken out of the contest. Stokes quite first half, but busy early now. Corey off a step to fall forward. Podsiadly, well done. Johnson gets. Oh. No, he does not. Well, Stevie J was running hard. Has he hurt himself there? Going into the fence.
That was a goal gone betting, wasn't it? Looked like a certainty to run into the open goal. Just got forced through with the footy.
Matner quickly to Shaw. And this is what Shaw does so effectively, running hard. That's a lovely kick to Pike. So Pike playing for the 5th consecutive time tonight. He came in when Munford was injured. Here's McVeigh. Johnson looks to be okay. Goods has had no impact so far. Taylor switches to Mackie, to Enright, who had more possessions than anybody in the opening half. To half forward. Podsiadly protected the ball well. Richards did a good job. Shaw on hands and knees. Still some danger. Matner on the up to Smith.
Smith about 15 metres out from his old goal. Goes across the ground, finds Johnson. Johnson a little chip to left half back. Taken by O'Keefe. O'Keefe drives it down towards half forward. Mumford has it. They're moving the ball quickly now. He can go long to Goods. And he does. Goods just dropping off his man, hanging back. And he'll shoot a goal from about 30 metres out, 45-degree angle.
He didn't get the ball, but you should have seen there's the running of Hanbury to be always there to support, almost from the first kick that went to back flank to the kick on the wing. They didn't need him because they were able just to keep finding the loose man. But you see, Hanbury left the screen on the wing. That's really unrewarded, hard running.
So the margin at 34, and he misses.
Spoke a lot in the first half, Lee, about that ability of the Swans to cover the ground. It was Ryan O'Keefe also. This was moments ago when Steve Johnson just ploughed into the fence, and that will hurt.
Well, it appeared to be hands in the back, didn't it?
Yeah, like it, didn't it?
Yeah.
But the ability of the Swans to push hard and gut run, it was Ryan O'Keefe on that occasion, right across to the fat side, created the overlap for Mumford, which created the overlap for Adam Goods.
That's the strength you can see that they've got over Geelong.
Given his time over again too, Stevie J. He might have hacked that one out of mid-air instead of trying to take possession. Hawkins was up, couldn't take the mark. The back of the pack, Pike, sneaky kick. Enright in the road, hand passes to Wojcinski. Wojcinski just kicks it away. Johnson gets back.
Played well tonight, Johnson again. Just fitted in so well to this team, Johnson. Short to O'Keefe.
He's a very good player, Bruce, with a big future.
And O'Keefe tonight gets level with Darren Creswell on 244, so number 8 on the all-time list as he kicks to half forward. And we've got number 1 out there and number 3 tonight for the Swans in terms of games played. Kennedy brought down in the tackle. And that ball not going anywhere. And well played by Jack, I think it was, to Bolton. Chapman searching for the ball. Hard running by Goods was really good. He's been rusty tonight so far, Adam Goods. Switches the handball, Hanbury, back to Mumford. Now O'Keefe, a long left footer. And that one, not quite a behind. Just feel like Adam Goods is going to be so much better for this after tonight, don't you?
You see he's just starting to get the rhythm of the game after a half of footy. You miss 5 or 6 weeks, it's very hard to come straight back in as if you haven't been playing consistently.
Again, Jared, thank you.
So, despite their best efforts, Geelong, they're facing their biggest deficit of the night. Taylor takes something off the kick. Duncan kept coming, and just as well. Untidy hand pass, though. Enright feeds it across to Mackie. Mackie goes across the ground. Awkward ball to mark. Well done by Hunt. Back to Mackie. Now Lonigan pushing up to the defensive 50. They've taken a bit of a risk here. They haven't done it that cleanly, but it's effective enough. Wojcinski has been watching Jetta. He takes off. Well, kind of. He kicks it down towards half forward. It was touched. Lewis Thompson left it behind. Lewis, Roberts, Thompson. They're all in there. There's an opportunity from Bolton down towards half forward. Almost the mark to Goods. Couldn't hang on. Enright, little chip. Mark is taken by Bartel. Some famous names. Lewis, Roberts, Thompson. And going back to the 70s and 80s, there was an entire half-forward line for South Melbourne and the Sydney Swans. Down towards half-forward is West. Runs to the 50, lines up. It's working its way back. It's a goal.
Well, that was a great individual effort. We've been looking for something for the Cats, and I'm not sure if West was on top of the pops.
They've been getting nothing out of their ruckman except hit-outs until then.
It's not the first time he's kicked a spectacular goal when we've seen them on a Friday night. He did it at Etihad a few weeks ago, but gee, if he could do that 3 times a match, we'd probably forget about Brad Ottens in a hurry, wouldn't we?
Well, Brad Ottens is out there in the coach's box at least. He's giving a coaching hand to both the young ruckmen. This is a good win here by Trent West. Outmarks Shane Mumford, who's probably, well, he is renowned as a better player than Trent West, but to go forward and kick a goal like that was do his confidence a world of good.
So almost back to that half-time margin, but again the centre clearance, and Kennedy with a long hard kick to fall forward. Gee, Bartel did well getting back. O'Keefe tackled by Taylor. The ball not out yet. It's going to be a ball up. How brave Bartel was there. There is Brad Ottens, the great Geelong, and before that Richmond ruckman and Glenelg ruckman in South Australia. His father was a fantastic player for Sturt under Jack Oatey.
He's also involved. Brad Ottens coaching the New South Wales under 18 and under 16 sides in some ruck work as well. So just working his life into footy, life after footy.
So Sydney deep in attack. Geelong hanging on. Mumford's tap. Selwood just ran it over the line, actually, interestingly.
And we have the centre square for a long time, and we've had the centre circle for a long time. But don't you see with that space in there some fantastic ruck to ground level player clearances?
Boundary throw in. Mumford working West under the ball. Taps it down to Jack, and he snaps a goal. On cue.
Dennis, both Sydney's goals in this quarter, Kennedy and Jack, have just been fantastic stoppage work, haven't they? I mean, it's great for the Swans, and I guess for the Cats it's a bit hard to take, isn't it?
That's an interesting call. I suppose it was testimony to the strength of the man behind, but he certainly appeared to carry the man in front forward there.
He did.
Just brilliant ruck work there, and
Fantastic to get it to.
great combination to have, you know, not one player in Kennedy, but also Jack as well and Bolton as well to get under the hands of that ruck work.
Jack had kicked 9 goals in his last 4 matches coming into tonight. It's been a real feature of his midfield play, and that one, the umpire wants to ping. So Bartel getting the free. What a game he's playing, Jimmy Bartel. Decides to load it up to centre half forward. Hawkins just pushed out of the way. Bolton couldn't quite. Corey got in there hard. Kennedy put a tackle on. Kelly, I think, is underneath. That ball not coming out. Which way will the umpire call it? He'll call a ball up.
Holding Sydney free. He can't go shoot off the ball. He's on possession of it.
We're seeing Christensen warm up on the sideline. I wouldn't be surprised if they take one of their tools off here and sub him in.
Okay, so
Next James.
it could be a really handy pinch hitter, Christensen. Here's Richards. He's one of the three to come in tonight. Hanbury in a boundary throw-in.
It's interesting. I mean, I reckon it's a decade, even when I was coaching the Lions, the Swans forward 50 stoppage work, when you always were really concerned because they do it so well. Well, their first 2 goals in the third quarter, that infamous one late in 2005, Tom, they've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, they have. No doubt about that.
Simpson got it down to Selwood. Selwood to Kelly. High ball inside the 50. Over the top. Big lead down there by Podsy Adderley. Over the football, Richards. Can't find the handle. Then got it out. Bird slips it away nicely. Bolton the high ball back towards the wing. Interesting by Pike. Must be a free kick to Taylor surely. Advantage not running for Hunt. We'll get it back though from Taylor. Slips it across towards Motlop. Wouldn't be surprised if Dawson Simpson is the man to come off. Interesting tackle moments ago. Just grabbed the top man on the pile and gave one away for holding the man. That man was about 3 deep from the footy. There's going to be a free kick. It's going Geelong's way. It'll be taken by Tom Hawkins against Grundy.
To Tom, please. To Tom, please. James, where's Sawney now? James. Had no eyes to the contest whatsoever. Heath? Yeah, he's on the mark.
It's a nice ongoing dialogue between the umpire, McInerney, and Podsy Adderley.
Yep. Yes, you're right there. Ted,
Hawkins has got the football. And this to get it back to 30 points. Flirting with danger, the Swans. Oh, wow.
Bad miss.
There it is. He's had a couple tonight. Tom Hawkins, 3 behinds now.
And they've all been pretty gettable.
Oh, but you got the 2 free kicks in that same spot, about 20 metres out straight in front.
Well, he spooked Grundy a little bit, hasn't he, when the ball's in the air, but he hasn't taken advantage. I mean, he keeps on missing. And in the end, you can't do that when you're 6 goals behind. There is Simpson. Pike going in hard for that same footy. It's a big, big, strong unit of Simpson. And hard to bring down.
Yeah, we're talking about West kicked the goal before, so but West and Simpson between them have had 5 disposals. They've been reasonable in the hit-outs, but just not enough of the 2 together.
Bartel won the hit, then Smith got the kick away, but Enright has been a mighty fine player for a mighty long time, and again tonight. Good kick into the centre to Hunt. Now Hunt can go long, and he does. Podziati will fancy this. Well done though at the back by Richards. Chapman ducked down low. Jetta gets a handle on it. Jack off a step. Shaw waits for it. Clever mark. Well played, Shaw. Turn Hunt inside out. Takes them on. Gets the run of Armstrong. Armstrong to Goods. And then Goods with a... Well, what is he doing, Goods? For goodness sake. Oh, that was poor by the champ.
Well, I suppose it begs the question, did he go off the line?
I was about to ask it. Is it play on if you just feign a handball and stay on the line?
Too tricky by half. No, I don't think it is, but it didn't look good.
Yeah, I would have thought the play-on call was right, but it was if Adam Good said, well, the umpire's not going to make me play on. He's feigned to go to him, but it's always going to be called play-on, I would have thought.
Meantime, back at the game, Pike hooks it across the line from behind.
Geez, I was watching you, Lee, when Tony Armstrong got the ball. I think you're enjoying this new generation of Swans players
Well,
tonight.
I just love their run. I mean, whenever the ball leaves congestion, the Swans are like they're almost the prototype of what are you got to be able to do. Win the ball in the contest, but then spread and run when it gets to space.
Enright wide of the pack, so much of the football in the first half. I think he copped one in the head there, Enright. He's not that interested in the footy at the moment. Kelly trying to crash his way out of there. Head clash with Roberts Thompson. Bird grabs the footy, kicks it towards the interchange gates. Knocked across by McGlynn, who started the game so brilliantly. We've got a boundary throw in. And the boy from Barnawatha is sitting down. Scott Simpson. He's battled manfully, but really it's a tough game to make one of your first appearances in league football in, that's for sure. Taken down. Kennedy lost it. Not often the name of a town reflects the skyline as well.
He's a big guy. Good mark by Smith to Shaw, and that's out on the full. So the Swans sitting on a big lead here, but like the Cats, they're finding it hard to score. Bartel, half volley for Selwood. And Selwood gets a bit of a skip up and then off the step. Hawkins, good mark. Really strong mark by the Tomahawk. And then Hawkins goes for goal. Podsiadly worked it. Free kick, is it?
Oh, another one.
He's got the front position, Teddy, and swung him around.
Brilliant cop.
And Podsiadly gets the goal. So Podsiadly gets his second and Geelong close.
So just for the moment, that defence leaking a little bit, giving away some free kicks there, and the height seems to be worrying them a bit. Hawkins has missed a few. And if they can just get on the same page down there, this game still has some life in it.
Geelong's coach spoke about quick ball movement into their forwards, and that was exactly that. A quick kick in, Podsiadly one-on-one with Ted Richards, and the Swans defenders can be exposed one-on-one.
Well, shades of the game against the Bombers. Suddenly that defensive zone, as far as the Swans were concerned, fell to pieces. Let's see what happens here. Off hands, Corey on his knees, intercepted down there by Matner, tackled strongly. Podsiadly nowhere to go. Ricochets back offshore towards Pods. He's grabbed and the umpire hasn't blown the whistle yet. The players have stopped.
No genuine attempt. There's no genuine attempt, James. You're just holding on to the ball, please. Thank you.
Umpire McInerney and the Pods. They will be lifelong friends after tonight. An impassioned plea from the umpire. Just do something, Pods. As the ball goes out of bounds on the far side. Was it on the full? Yes, it was. So Geelong will put it back in. Taylor's got the footy. 35 plays 64. Taylor short. And the Cats not done with yet. This will be really worrying if it gets down to a goal or two late in the game. It seems indicative of their football. Now a free kick is going the other way.
Geelong runner, the
Yes.
umpire has called, got in the race. Don't know whether he got in the way, but he was in the vicinity.
Lonigan has to cough up the footy after marking it. That could be big. Kick inside the forward 50 from Reid. Contest. Goods at the back, thumped it away. Taken down there by Kelly. Bartel, Roberts Thompson off the ball. Very hard to hear there. What happened, Lee?
He just held on to the tackle too long. The ball came clear, and he just held on and threw him to the ground. So just you could see it. It was just held on to the tackle too long.
Strange and stranger. Roberts Thompson misses. So the danger's still present. Approaching three-quarter time.
Scotty's reaction.
He's going home.
Remember those moments, Lee?
Yeah, you feel like going home, but you've got to stay.
So Stokes to centre wing. Good mark taken by Wester. They've got the yips at the moment, the Swans, I reckon.
Yep.
Wester half forward. Podsiadly tried to bring it down. Matner tried to break it. Kelly, Jetta. We haven't seen him in this situation too often. He had Taylor Hunt, and that's a free kick against. Is it Joel Corey?
See, every time the ball goes to the contest between Podsiadly and Richards, they're just pushing in and wrestling with each other, making it very hard for the umpire to work out, is there a free kick involved?
So down the ground for Roberts Thompson. But Sydney are sloppy forward at the moment, inside their forward 50. I just feel like the match is a lot closer than it is. It's still a 5-goal game. Swans, that comfortable lead, and Geelong have not kicked consecutive goals all night, and that's what they're trying to do right now.
Well, the challenge, no doubt, Bruce, has been getting past this 5-goal barrier. You felt for large portions of the game that Geelong have had control of certainly the tempo of the game and the flow of the game, but just haven't been able to pierce within 5 goals.
And both of the Swans' goals in this third quarter have come from stoppages inside their forward 50. Hanbury's handball. Okay, Grundy, Matner. That's Bird, needs to release it, and he does. Now they could be on the Swans. Shaw's a running player, we know that. Over the top now. Jack released on the left foot for him, which is a good side. That's a long, strong kick. LRT couldn't quite. Some good defensive work there from Scarlett, who got a poke in the eye and through for a behind.
31 points the margin. Short one comes into Wojcinski. Still inside the defensive 50. Now on that 50 arc, the mark is taken by Taylor.
And Harry Taylor will be seeing a lot more than Matthew Scarlett. He's got a poke in the eye, but what he will be seeing is one-on-ones all around the ground, so the Swans going very accountable.
Richards over the top, knocked it down. Mackey missed the football. Hanbury holding the ball. Had only 13 possessions so far, Hanbury. Hasn't troubled us too much. There goes Mackey under pressure. High ball towards the wing. Selwood up. Shaw from behind. Motlop the rover. Christensen into the action. Little chip pass is a beauty. Onto the chest of Stokes.
And when you do play one-on-one football all over the park and not have the loose man behind the ball, if the forwards have the discipline to draw themselves to the goal face, you can often open up this space right here, as we'll see. And Matthew Stokes.
Three of their quicker players all got involved in the same passage of play.
Yes, it was Noman yesterday, the shortest day of the year. Motlop, Stokes, and now Christensen. We wish them well. There's the kick out to the right of behind. The little guys getting involved and giving their side a lift. But he knows it's still game on.
It's tense at the moment. Goals just so hard to get. Still a 30-point margin. And Sydney playing at home, you'd think they were overwhelmingly on top, but it just doesn't feel like that anymore. Mumford a target with West, and Mummy couldn't quite, and he knows he had a chance there to take a contested mark against a bloke who kicked a goal on him about 10 minutes ago.
Reflected in the stats at the moment, Bruce, the inside 50 is now well in favour of Geelong, 38 to 32.
It's a low throw in. By low, I mean didn't get very high. O'Keefe just coughed it up. West gets it and then cleverly gets a sidestep in, kicks the ball to half forward. Podsiadly did really well there to tap it back. Richards was on his bike quicker than anybody else, but then Corey hacks it, but only as far as Matner, who takes sort of a slips catch now. He's got Grundy wide. Hanbury's on now. If Grundy decides to go to him, no. Holds it up, slows it down. Now goes to Hanbury. Hanbury works so hard. And then Hanbury on to the hard-working run of Pike at half-back.
Started that run from the opposite wing. That was an extraordinary work ethic from Pike. And it also demonstrates that as the years progress, he's really starting to learn the game and make offensive attacking decisions.
High ball towards the wing. It falls in front off hands. Bolton a half chance. Christensen again. He's been busy since coming on. Hacks it forward. Shaw does well in the opposite direction. Goes down towards half forward. Just wide of the intended target, McGlynn. Bartell wants out of bounds on the full. I doubt he's going to get it.
He's been very valuable, Pipe, because I reckon Mumford, he's had his couple of games, but he looks like he needs a lot of footy.
Yep.
I think his fitness is probably a long way where they would like it to be when he gets another month or two under his belt.
After the boundary throw in, spills across to McVeigh, hooks it back, dangerous bouncing football. Bartell did well. I'll bring it away. Wojcinski gave it across to Joel Corey. It was Hunt. It was Hunt who kicks it up towards the wing.
This is an important one-on-one. Grundy and Chapman. Hanbury, I reckon, just got in the road of Grundy there. He really took his running and gave Geelong the edge. And now the Cats have got the numbers. Richards was the last man standing. Taylor Hunt searches. Johnson, Bartell, back to Christensen. Good tackle. Back they go. They had to backtrack and they saved some time there, did the Swans. But Lonergan finds it out wide to Mackey. Mackey had a couple of options inside to Corey. The Cats desperately working for this next goal. As we said, they haven't had consecutive goals all night. Corey trying to build a big match here. Goes to full forward. Podsiadly. Well done, Smith. Stokes. Well, he could have kicked it, I reckon. Hunt does, and he kicks a goal. So Geelong closing the margin.
Well worked again. Their speed players doing very nicely. That was a clever goal, really. He made the point, Stokes perhaps should have kicked it, and you're right, but he put his teammate on a pretty awkward angle, but Hunt came through in spades. Nice work. This is getting amazing now. We have a trend as far as the Swans are concerned.
See the long ball in here. It's Nick Smith. It's always a really dangerous ball, that one, when you're coming back and try to direct it over the shoulder. Always better to mark, and the resultant spill, and an important goal for the Cats.
The Cats are coming. The Swans are stopping. Kick inside the forward 50. Motlop. Still Motlop. Tackled by 2. Shaw's got an arm around the footy, and the umpire calls for it. And what about young Christensen? There's Nick Davis, the runner. What about young Christensen? 5 possessions in 8 minutes of work.
They look much better with that one extra runner and one big guy off the ground, don't they? Look a better 18 on the field.
What a clever kick it was back in the middle moments ago too. Let the momentum direct his kick. After it goes Stokes crashing in. Might be Kennedy. You lose the bodies quickly here at the SCG. It's McGlynn, who's pretty slow to get up.
Geelong have won 8 of their last quarters this year, so you know they'll always keep going.
Just over a minute till three-quarter time. Dangerous kick. Made to look okay by Richards. Gee, they could do with a late goal, the Swans. Momentum carried in right forward. Christensen again goes inside. He had a brief spell on the interchange bench. Just came on then. Wojcinski kicks inside the forward 50. Getting back is Johnson. That's Johnson of Sydney. And he knocks the ball out of bounds.
Where's Steve Johnson at Geelong? This is the sort of play you think he might be dangerous here. With a stoppage in the forward 50 and a late goal needed. It's just a nervous Sydney at the moment. Selwood taps it back. Here he is. Stevie J belts the ball over the back. Corey, well done, Roberts Thompson. Armstrong, Grundy, O'Keefe. Just tries to get some distance and buy some time. Doesn't get it very far. Mackie, Kelly eludes Hanbury a bit too easily, actually, and then drills it to Corey. Now, can Joel Corey go all the way here? He's 55 metres out. Decides just to set it up to full forward in the pocket, and that ball kicked away by Smith. Corey again gets a chance, but he might have to have a shot now.
Had 9 inside 50s. I think they're about to go to their 20th. Geelong, they're just owning the front half.
Well, that came at a good time for the Swans. They're certainly not on their knees, but their back is against the wall, even though they lead by 4 goals.
Out of the final term, then Friday night football. A chilly night in Sydney. Awkward bounce. The ruckman chase it. Sending it forward west towards half forward. Juggling the mark is Shaw. Across half back. Plays on to Grundy. Grundy, a high ball. Took something off the kick. Roberts Thompson favoured by the kick. Bounces free behind. Christensen, who's been a live wire, onto the leg of Roberts Thompson, and the ball goes out of bounds. So midway through that third term, the Swans led by 36, but 6 goal leads have gone the way of the Drakmar, it seems. They're not what they used to be. I can remember when a 6-goal lead midway through the third term, you thought you're home and hosed. Well, not in today's football. Goods got it from Bolton, smothered off the boot, spills to Kennedy. Jetta, 60 metres out, little short one inside the forward 50, runs free. Who's got the speed? Mackie has. First to the football, goes with the outside of the boot. Christensen, he's been everywhere. Or rather, Motlop it is this time.
Kicked that first goal a long time ago for Geelong. Mackie running hard. Hawkins the target. She played it well there, though, to Grundy. Down to Johnson. Chapman puts the pressure on him, and Johnson runs it to the line.
What I found the big Swan defenders are trying to do, they are trying to work their way to the front position, which is where sometimes the umpire can think they've actually impeded the Geelong forward in getting to that position.
How many goals do the Swans need to kick in this last quarter to be safe? 2-3, I wonder, but Geelong doubled their score in that third quarter. That's a brilliant kick coming from Kelly. And Josh Hunt, who we don't see too often have a set shot. We know he's got a lovely long leg.
Good stoppage win, but gee, again, the Swans forward has completely got out position there.
So just the 1 goal this season. Wouldn't have had many shots. He's only kicked 22 goals in 177 matches, but he's such a beautiful kick. And that is just what Geelong wanted, and this match is up for grabs.
Remarkable comeback They're in now with a real shout. They're playing the better football. They're starting to win in some key categories amongst the numbers. And they're playing with confidence. They were bullied early. That was an expression we used by Sydney, but this really is something, bearing in mind Sydney got the opening 7 goals.
Well, here's the build-up to the last goal. James Kelly working on the outside with lateral movement. We saw before the game midfield coach Stewie Dew with Jude Bolton warning the Swans midfield of exactly that. The smart play by James Kelly resulted in a goal.
Rucks go at it. West taps it down. We need a response now from Sydney. Jack trying to provide that, but he legged Corey. No free kick. O'Keefe taken down. Clever hands by Kennedy. Got it away to McVeigh. Kicks inside the forward 50. There he is again. Wonderful courage. Takes a bit of that to stand in front of a rampaging Adam Goods, despite the fact he's got a bit of ring rust tonight. On the 50, scramble, and there's going to be a ball up.
What do you do, Lee? What do you do with Jimmy Bartell now?
Well, I think the game is starting to slip a little bit. So I know they're trying to get Sam. Every time there's a stoppage, Sam Root is trying to get his body near to Bartell. So you just got to do that a bit better.
Kelly won the stoppage, but Sydney get the ball, and then Smith's bullied. So Geelong certainly the aggressor at the moment. Hawkins, brilliant handball. Motlop arches his back to go all the way here. Now Jetta's in pursuit. Motlop goes bang and misses. Jetta was closing.
I think the Bartell conundrum for the Swans is he needs to be manned up offensively, if you know what I mean.
In some ways, I don't know whether it's the big problem because there's so many inside 50s now going Geelong's way. I mean, it's been something like they got 15 to 8 in the. It's 20 to 8 in the third quarter. So I don't know whether it's the forward 50 that's the problem for the Swans at the moment. It's more up the field.
That late push by Jetta could have been come back to Motlop there. So Reid building the ball forward. Goods just hasn't had any impact at all. In fact, if it wasn't good, you'd probably sub him at the moment. I don't suggest they will, but he's really struggled. Christensen's kicked forward. He's been fantastic since he's come on, as Dennis has said, and the boundary throwing. So
we see the inside 50s that have happened in the second and third quarter. So, well, Bartell's and Mark Williams in the stand, but Bartell's been good, but the ball's been down the other end of the field.
Great smile. Always has had. Behind the pack, it's taken by McGlynn. Kicks it down towards half forward. Hangs a long time in the air. Scarlett did enough. Got the ball on the deck. That was his intention. Bartell looks up. Enright, strong hands. That was a brilliant mark. Goes across the ground. Mackey releases Duncan. Trying to wrong foot O'Keefe. It gets by him too easily. Hand passes forward. Joel Corey right on the 50. Comes back to Selwood. Tries to hack his way through. That's holding it. Very ambitious now. It's not O'Keefe's ball to have. It'll come back to Jetta. So he can do it all, Jetta. That's a good tackle against a man that's hard to tackle. Ball towards half forward. Big leap by Goods. Runs free behind. Some hesitation from Mumford to go to the ball. Off the ground by Taylor. Well, lucky. Held out there with Jedski, no free kick. In goes Matner, knocked away by Bolton, lost by Shaw, taken there by Motlop, slips it across to Stokes. Stokes inside the 50. Hawkins, don't know that was necessary. His confidence is down. Chapman's is up. He kicks the goal.
Fantastic team goal. Not sure what Mumford was thinking about at half forward a moment ago. I think it's symptomatic of what the Swans are doing at the moment. They're second guessing. They're not playing instinctively. That was a fantastic goal. He's no one better than Chapman around the body. It's his bread and butter, isn't it? And right now, I reckon Geelong are favourites.
Adam Goods has just put the red jumper on. He's been subbed out of the game.
Well, it's probably not surprising in a way. I mean, a moment ago we contemplated. It's just one of those nights. The match winner sitting it out. Everett comes on. Brilliantly done by McGlynn. Matner, well, he couldn't take it. He just couldn't carry the ball. And Selwood pushes the ball forward. And if you're betting now, suddenly Geelong are probably favourite. That's a free kick, though, to Smith against Hawkins, and it should be 50. No, it's not. Gee, the old 50 doesn't happen this often, does it? Probably a good thing in a way, because it's such a penalty, but players now can feign the fact that they don't really know what's going on.
So as long as you don't go and dispose of the ball on that field, you can bring it back.
Last 20 minutes is 4 goals, 2-2 behinds, and Geelong has certainly been the proactive team at the moment.
I take your point. I don't want to harp on the Jimmy Bartell factor, but they might not be getting as many inside 50s. I think there's a bit of visual pressure that he's applying at the moment. I'd be putting an offensive player on him like a Ben
I think McVeigh's going forward as we speak, Tom, to do exactly that role.
Boundary throw in. Everett just on the ground, slips a hand pass away to Armstrong. Wonderful tackle by Kelly. Got him down. A heap at left half forward.
There's got to be some doubt in the Sydney players' minds after their fade out against Essendon a couple of weeks ago. So they've got to keep playing instinctively and keep moving this ball forward. They can't be static.
Well, they're pretty static at the moment. 11 points the difference. Can they rally? Rally from in front. It sounds odd. Ball is taken by Corey. Corey goes down towards half forward. Podsy Adderley could have almost got a free kick. Surging forward, Chapman. Bacon goal square. It runs on and on and on. The ball barracks for Geelong. Look at that. From about 30 metres out, he got a very true roll.
Paul Chapman. Just a long roll of the dice, so to speak. That ball could have rolled anywhere, but funnily enough, it never looked like missing in the end. I mean, it was the funny old ball was just going straight towards the goal.
Well, if you watched the golf the other week, last weekend, I mean, Olympic didn't give you that sort of roll, did it? It was pretty tricky.
Well, can the Geelong legend get any
started
bigger?
from the clearance, but some of the Geelong players who just looked a little bit off the pace of the game early are now running their way right into it.
It's a very clever kick by Chapman too. He kicked it softly, actually, and the ball, as Dennis said, Barrack for Geelong had just obeyed Chappie. Clever kick out of the centre. Shaw, Everett, can he impose himself? So a very big decision to take goods from the ground. Everett's kick inside the 50. Reed jumped very hard and high. Taylor, handball back. Bartell's been the master. Enright not far behind him. That ball doesn't get out too hard. Everett had to probably keep it in. Sydney needs somebody to do something. That ball's not out. Flicked out in the back. Mumford, who's stopped to a crawl, I reckon. He's really blowing hard, the big mummy. And Taylor Hunt in there. Who's got it? It'll be a baller.
Yeah, if he's a horse, you'd say Mumford needs a lot of work, Bruce. What do you think?
No, he's short of a run, isn't he?
West is dominating the hit-outs as well, 7-2 at the moment.
Well, he's got spring in his step as opposed to Mumford. Mumford wants body on body here. Coming over the top, Corey sensing the problem, thumps it out wide. Bird a half chance. In goes Kelly. The pack collapsed. Down goes Stokes. Bird's got it. Confronted there by Duncan. Spills to Corey. Little look away hand pass. Christensen. He's been hot since coming onto the ground. Goes down towards half forward. He was cramped for room and the mark is taken by Shaw. Well, I suppose if you're a sub, you don't want to be sort of ticked off as a super sub, but then again you want to play well. It's a tricky situation, Tom.
Well, I think you're spot on, Dennis, and the substitution here for Christensen and Simpson really does highlight how you can use it strategically and tactically to your advantage.
What if you typecast as a sub?
The super sub.
The super sub, you don't want that.
No, you probably don't want that. No, I don't think Christensen's got that just yet. You could play till you're 40 if you're the super sub. You only play a quarter of a game.
Yeah, but not like Christensen. Ball comes behind the pack. Hanbury gives a hand pass off. Matner on the deck. Picked up there by Jack. Somehow advances the ball. Thumped away from behind by Scarlett. Roving the pack is Lonigan. High ball to the wing. Motlop. Still Motlop. He's over the footy. He'll be elusive now. Gets it where he likes it. His natural habitat on the deck. Goes short. Lunging mark. Not paid to Hawkins. Too hard with the thump to Stokes. And the ball goes across the line.
The Swans could have ejected their sub too early here. Shane Mumford looks in a bit of trouble. His back looks sore. He looks very ginger at the moment.
Geelong within a kick. Mumford down to Kelly. Kelly's been one of the instigators in the last quarter. Podsiadly, Grundy belts it away, not far. Duncan, well done, Armstrong. Wojcinski with pace on the left foot. Not a good kick. And Grundy, not sure why he's waiting for that to run out of play. He really could have taken a mark there, Grundy. That ball was markable, and now there's a stoppage close to Geelong's goal. What a remarkable turnaround. They haven't been this close since the 4-minute mark of the first quarter. Selwood barging through, left-footing the ball. Which way would that go? Out on the full. So some respite for Sydney, who just don't look like scoring at the moment. They're stuck on 10-6, and Geelong are on 9-7, and the stakes are really high here. Hard to see the Cats making top 4 if they lose a match like this, with a very tough draw they've got in front of them for the rest of the season. And for Sydney to make top 4, these are the games you just have to win at home.
McGlynn hard against the boundary line around the corner, but Enright in the road. Did he go? Apparently not. Now it'll be 50. Oh, my goodness. Well, he feigned a kick.
I think he was off. That's a pretty tough call on the Sydney player.
Wow.
Yes, I think that's when we all think 50 metres is far too big a penalty for whatever that offence was.
Gee whiz. When you think back to Goods in the previous quarter, Enright was moving off the line, no question about that. Hasn't kicked a goal this season. Now he has, and believe it or not, do you? The Cats are in front. Oh, this is remarkable. What a comeback. All seem lost. There's a powwow, but I'm not sure that'll solve the problem. They have collapsed in defence in their last 2 games, the Swans.
It's interesting. They've been almost a bit timid the way they've played, I reckon, Sydney, since they've had this lead. I don't mean not going in for the ball. It's a very, 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 very hard.
He's trying to get to the mark. Umpire says you've gone over it by 6 inches or something.
Well, but Enright was off, wasn't he, off the line?
Yep.
Anyway, it's a goal to Enright. So Enright and Josh Hunt get goals in this last quarter. You wouldn't have bet on that. Chapman's got a couple, and Geelong are in front. Shaw has been pretty good, and he was trying to marshal the troops a moment ago. It's hard to see how Sydney can get back now. It's ridiculous. I know there's only a kick in it. It's a point in it, but they have...
Well, the first half, Bruce, we spent...
They have been timid in the way they've played, haven't they? They haven't taken chances. They haven't been instinctive, Sydney. They've waited. They've been reactive, and Geelong have just bullied them here and continue to win clearances and push the ball forward. And that ball eluding everyone in the boundary throw-in.
In the first half, we just have a look at the infringement here. Sam Reid comes up. Corey Enright's off the line. That shouldn't have been 50-metre penalty.
I wouldn't have thought he's over the mark anyway. I mean, the umpire hadn't called play on, you can't go over the mark, but it didn't even look like he'd done that.
Look, it was a hard decision, but that's not the Swans' problem at the moment. Their problem is getting the ball forward.
Well, we spent a lot. There's Shane Mumford there with the crook back. That's a real loss for the Swans, but we're really applauding the Swans' outside run, but they just haven't been able to inject any of that so far.
Podsiadly up high, loose ball in the square. Back goes Grundy and forces the ball across. I think they're appealing for a throw. It couldn't be. He wasn't under pressure. There are about 3 Geelong players carrying. Coming out of defence then Shaw. Have they got the poise? This is Armstrong. Armstrong off a step to Kennedy. Great call by Kirky earlier too. Talking about the bad back at the very next boundary throw in. Mumford took an eternity to get up.
They tend to be going wide now when they do go forward, the Swans, and then they kick it long into their forward 50, and the Geelong defence, particularly in the air, is completely on top.
Bird, the famous number 14, kicks it down towards half forward. They could do with Skilton and Kelly, the pair of them. Right now, McVeigh to Jack. Jack, long ball. He's got the goal from long range. The heart is still ticking in these Swans.
Oh, he's cramped.
What a finish. Just got the right bend, didn't he? And just going to have to try and run that out. So a couple of second-half goals for Kieran Jack. And Sydney get their first goal in a long, long time.
Slow, patient build-up here. This is a great draw handball to give the ball to Jack, and has kicked a great goal. What the Swans need to do now is play courageous footy. That's not head over the ball stuff, because that's a given, but courageous with their ball use.
37 minutes between goals. Jack has kicked both those goals in that time, and suddenly they're back in front and getting the ball forward. Hunt, Bird got down low. Taylor's tackle was good, and it's going to be a ball up.
We've been assured it's definitely cramped for Kieran Jack. It's not a hamstring strain.
Well, that's good news. So both Jack and McVeigh, who were involved in the last goal, quickly went to the interchange, but Jack was hobbling when he went there. Swans would love to get some breathing space here. They've had plenty of breathing space all night. Kelly's kicked back. Johnson quickly onto it. He's had a subdued night, Johnson.
Off interchange.
So Josh Hunt will wheel around onto the left, and he's got a few options, but that's not a good kick. He's blazed, and Richards takes an easy mark. Gee, that's a waste, isn't it?
You were about to say un-Australian then, Dennis.
I think Josh Hunt knew it was. He just gave it back.
So that's very Australian.
Very Australian.
So Richards off a step. Pike, good mark. Clunked it well. He's done that a couple of times tonight.
Well, that courage Kirk is talking about is to have a look inside as well. It might not be on, but if the centre square's open, the Swans tend to be just very much attacking right around the boundary, very slowly.
Pike, that's Mike Pike, a work in progress, kicks it up beyond the wing. Kelly goes after it, misses Chapman. Now it's 3-on-2 down there. Coming wide, O'Keefe, taken by Armstrong, running back down there, Kennedy, coming across on the angle and doing very nicely in defence. Christensen gets it back, hammers the ball forward, had got it from Selwood, then he found Scarlett. Scarlett goes across the ground. Well, moments ago it was the Cats under pressure. Now Mackey's got the ball, breaking for him is Lonigan. Lonigan's got it right on the wing, looks towards half forward, sold himself into trouble. That wasn't good. Goes back, Mackey. Presence of mind to look up, but he kicks to a contest, but the representation from Geelong in that contest, pretty good. Stevie J, there he is, the old J curve. You wondered what it was. That's it. He kicks it down towards the pocket, and the mark is taken in front by Hawkins. Well, how about this? He spotted Stevie do it. He goes around and he kicks it. I'm sure it's patented.
Thing he didn't want to do, Hawkins, was have a set shot for goal, because he has not been able to kick one tonight, and I think he's got real problems with those in the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks. But gee, I tell you what, he can take a good mark inside 50. Nobody takes more marks inside 50 this season than Tom Hawkins,
but it underscores just how wasteful that is if he can't kick the goals. I mean, you can't have him kicking those all the time.
The great build-up there again from Stephen Johnson, and then the contested marks. That's 24-8 now in Geelong's favour, just demonstrating the aerial dominance that they've displayed all over the ground, and appropriate salute.
good tap by Pike. Geelong back in front. Hawkins with 1 goal, 3 on the ball at the moment.
And Hawkins has obviously gone into the centre bounce as the backup ruckman. Looked like he's going to run forward, and I think Harry Taylor might be just going to do the round-the-ground duties from this point onwards.
And the salute and second black armband from Tom Hawkins is for his grandfather.
So Pike wins the tap. G. Armstrong was held on to it. And then Geelong in hard.
That's right.
There's Christensen and also O'Keefe. What a record Chris Scott's got. He's won 29 out of 36 as a coach.
Plug it clear if we can.
Bolton down low. Mackey's tackle was good. That ball not out. So Bolton, that ball still not out, but a Swans player.
Attempt. He's making a genuine attempt. Paul's holding it in.
So there's the explanation. So
It's a massive discrepancy in contested marks, isn't it? They've been very good in the edge along in the forward line.
West won the tap. Bolton was scragged around the neck. Well played by Taylor to Duncan. Duncan out wide. converging from everywhere. Richards got a really important touch, but then overran it. Hunt's handball, clever. Wojcinski should have got a free kick, held on to. Back to Christensen, banging the ball forward. Every foray forward now so important. It's not quite the next goal wins, but you feel like it's getting closer and closer.
Some of those Swans players look almost spent. Johnson tracking that ball. Grundy earlier. Not a good sign. Boundary throw in. Pike over the top. Knocks it down. Bolton trying to find his way out of there. O'Keefe feeds it back. Johnson hooks it towards the outer side. Lonigan trying to stifle the bounce. It goes out of bounds. Well, still, the line is hard to get on Geelong top.
It is. I mean, all the momentum's there, and I think the avenue for the Geelong Cats to win the game is just get the ball long into your tall forwards. They're outmarking the Sydney defenders at the moment, and the momentum's with them.
Christensen went to ground, and Armstrong is tackled. But it seems almost as if they need a challenge, doesn't it? Or is that my imagination?
Thank you.
Something to whet their appetite. They know they're good.
I don't think they intentionally give away
of course not.
Sometimes I think the speed has to go off the game before they can work. They can play at their best. That might be the issue.
That might be it. Oh, the voice of reason. There goes Bird, or was it Smith? It was Smith who kicked it inside the forward 50. Scarlett came to the footy. Bartell trying to align himself to the ball. Couldn't get straight at it. Well done by Lonigan. Bartell weaves his way through like a snake in water. Kicks it up towards the wing, and it's going to be a free kick to Motlop. Well, we're down to 5 minutes. If Geelong get a goal here, it's hard to imagine Sydney can do enough to get back. Motlop just takes something off this ball, just pops it across to Podsiadly, who's forward of the wing.
So Podsiadly, defensive kick to the pocket. Chapman runs it over the boundary line, and Geelong pretty happy with that result.
Need to find a release man here. Jude Bolton sitting up on the defensive side of the stoppage.
Good handball by Smith, back to O'Keefe. Roberts-Thompson has had a quiet night. Lonigan belting back. Richards quick off the mark. He's done that for a lot of years now. Banging the ball back. Still plenty of time. Not sure how many goals are left in this game. Sydney have only kicked 4 goals since the 23-minute mark of the opening quarter. And that long handball by Enright. Not sure how far it got into play, actually, down the line. And the umpire's giving it the benefit of the doubt and saying it went all the way down the line and throws it in about 30 minutes from where he handballed. Fantastic comeback here by Geelong. Well done, Jack. McVeigh got it from McGlynn. Off a step to half forward. Big fly in the front, Everett. And then Scarlett wanting the boundary line, or Johnson. And then Johnson back to Bartell. And Bartell's kick fortuitously to
Bartell and
Selwood.
Yeah, they've been good.
And Selwood opening it up. West, now Taylor Hunt.
Taylor Hunt, 70 metres out, kicks for space. Actually, that favours Richards, who backed himself against the ball. Had he missed that, it could have been good night. He didn't. Wonderful mark, particularly at this stage of the game. He plays on to Shaw. Shaw goes out wide to Grundy. Grundy goes around the outer side. Will it stay in for the Swans? No. Mackner beaten by the football across the boundary.
That passage of play summed up the differences between the first half and second half for the Swans. Firstly, the lack of real genuine speed on the spread, and secondly, the execution of the skill.
Pike hooks it down, offhand, spills behind, kick forward by Jack, down towards half forward. Opportunity for Mumford, stood up in the tackle, comes to Hanbury, across to O'Keefe, long ball down towards full forward, nobody home. Scarlett gets back, takes the timely mark. Lonigan runs for him, no one near him. Corey is on, ditto for him. 30 metres behind him, in his wake is O'Keefe. Corey decides to hold up. Now this next kick could almost be game determining. Just over 3 minutes to go. Needs a target. Oh, good fist away by Grundy, out of bounds.
It's almost the time they want Lewis Jetta to get the ball in hand and break a line, don't they?
Haven't seen him for a while, have we? They haven't. That spread they had earlier just disappeared as the game's gone on.
Kennedy slow. He does get it away. Bolton, Hanbury. Canterbury probably could have run a little bit with it. Lewis Thompson held on to surely.
You mentioned Lewis Jetta. Geelong have identified Lewis Jetta as the potential match winner for the Swans and have put their primary stopper, Taylor Hunt, onto him.
So it was Pike who got the free kick. And Pike with a very careful kick to full forward. Oh, big fly. Not paid to Bird. Reed's handball over the back. Scarlett and Enright. And also McGlynn and the ball up.
Had a good run at it here, Bird. Got himself in unfamiliar territory, really.
Swans have got a spare player in the centre corridor, about 40 metres to the right of this contest. That's the kind you need, someone to pull out into place, space away from the congestion.
It's Alex Johnson, but Hunt, can he clear it? The race is on. He got a good bounce there, Podsiadly. Such an important ball here. Can he hold up? It's a great tackle, bringing him down. Gee, that was big. They were in on it in Geelong. Ball still comes out the back. McVeigh, clever. Good tackle by Taylor Hunt on that man in Jetta. Still, Wojcinski can't quite get clear. Smith brought down. Well, sometimes you've got to do something to really belong at a club.
Yep.
And Everett's just done that something. Not sure how the game finishes up, but he needed to make a big play at some stage. Second season at the Swans, he's just made it.
Well, at the first time they've looked like taking a contested mark in their forward 50.
And the space was there, Lee, and I think the build-up was good. Jetta's been involved in the last 90 seconds or so, got the ball out to another young player in Johnson, and the kick favoured and a good contested mark.
How defensive do they go here this
Well, yeah, they've got a minute and a bit to go. They're not really putting an extra guy back, but that's only probably matching the Geelong spare who's now being pushed forward.
Well, it's been a remarkable last quarter, an incredible match. We talked about that 2005 second semi-final with Nick Davis' heroics. This is not that tonight, but this last quarter has been something. Sydney get the ball forward. Everett swings it. Can Jetta get back to it? This could be dangerous if he gets a run. Normally good with the ball in hand. And Everett, well.
Well, that's what happens when you save a win. You put all your numbers back and opens up the forward 50.
Sub for Adam Goods, came on, kicks the ball high to full forward. McVeigh, the kick by Kennedy. Oh! And that is a behind, which gives Geelong a really good chance to set up now.
You prefer out of bounce than a behind.
Yep. A goal to win. Geelong guaranteed possession of the footy, at least initially. Hanbury had it knocked away. Wojcinski getting a hand in there was Grundy. Could have been tackled high, no free kick. The umpire letting them play. Clock stops at 18.
Have a look at this.
Just a hand in. Game of inches, isn't it?
I'll say he was gone, and he's quick. So how about this? They're flooding back. There's how many Sydney players in the defensive 50 spare? Well, just the one.
Just the one. It's one-on-one. Marty Matten's a player who's loose, who makes good defensive decisions.
Yeah, they were changing personnel. Players did come out as players flooded back after the bounce. Opportunity for Bolton. Hand passes across to Reed. This will consume some time. Ball bounces downwards, full forward. We're down to 4 seconds. Sydney are going to hang on. Sydney will get a late goal. Hit the post, doesn't matter. The Sydney Swans get home in a thriller on Friday night. What else do you expect?
Grandstand finish, and Andreas Everett, a man at his second club, and has just played the biggest 10 minutes in his career. And for Geelong, well, it was an incredible comeback. And what a courageous call by John Longmire to sub Adam Goods, take him off the ground and bring Andreas Everett on. So let's go down to Brett Kirk, who's with Andreas Everett. And Kirky, the man had to set up, and he did tonight. It was a great goal.
That's right, Bruce. I'm with the super sub, Andreas. Mate, just talk us through the feeling when that ball went through.
Yeah, it was obviously a good feeling with the ball going through. Took the mark and I backed myself for 50 outside. So went through my routine and ended up kicking it up. It was good.
And you've been in and out of the game, this season. What have you learned since being coming to the Swans?
Obviously, you need to try and play some consistent football, and that's been my issue since I got here. And it's just good now to obviously come on as a sub and make a bit of an impact. And that's what the coaches wanted, and hopefully I gave it tonight.
Well done, mate. Hope this is a great platform for you to kick on to bigger things.
9-3 is a really good place to be in, and Geelong 7-5 now, sort of come back to the pack. So many teams on 6 wins are not playing this weekend. One of them is Fremantle, but a lot of the other 6. So Geelong don't get a gap on those teams. They stay on 7, and Sydney now propel them. They're top of the table tonight, I think, Sydney. If not, it would only be a percentage. I think they will be top of the table tonight. They won't finish the weekend top of the table.
It means they've got to make up a couple of games on the teams ahead of them for top 4. It's very hard to get 2 or 3 extra wins in the last 10 rounds than the very best teams.
Well, let's go down to Brett Kirkers with Adam Goods, who is back tonight.
Great win, Goodsy. How are you yourself?
Yeah, I'm fine, mate. I was down to play 70, 80 minutes, and lucky enough the bloke could come on for me, kick the winning goal for us, mate. So hopefully I've played my role for the team tonight.
Must be great confidence for Andre Harris to come on and kick that goal.
Yeah, it is. And all we've said to Dre when he gets a sub is just to come on and impact the game. Whether it's with 1%ers or like tonight, to kick a goal in the clutch was fantastic.
I thought Mike Pike really stepped up in that last quarter when Mummy seemed a bit sore. Did you see the same?
Yeah, definitely. Pikey's ability to contest and now take those marks is fantastic for us. So, you know, across the board, it was just a fantastic effort by everyone.
Go and enjoy, mate.
Thanks, Kirky.
What a win! What a team of champs! Who beauty!